Welcome home. It's October 25th, and the episode title is WotC kills off their digital / goes all in on digital. Dark Wizard Games won the RPG Publisher Spotlight. The interview with Mark is live, and in it we read about how a recent D&D fantasy art piece depicting orcs as noble rangers made him laugh so much that he wrote the pastiche Hidden Shrine of the Warlord Chief, a first edition module. Interestingly, while the idea of peaceful orcs made Mark laugh, Hidden Shrine of the Warlord Chief is currently his top selling module on DriveThruRPG. We're approaching Halloween, and this year, as Geek Native has done for many years, we're marking the days with the 12 masks of Halloween. This means each day we share a Halloween mask that we've found, and from that you can go from one post to another easily. We're testing our sponsorship widget on this cyber event too. No, we don't have a sponsor as such, but the metal poster company Displate has given us a unique code. You will be used to these from those influencer videos and podcasts, and in this case just enter Geek Native at the checkout to get 25% off your Displate purchase. That's a big discount, and you have until the end of the year to do it. Or not, your call. So far, my favourite mask is the skeleton hands, because it looks like something out of a gothic horror from the 19th century. It's freaky. And while the skeleton hands mask is scary, this week we've had a guest post from Tom Gilbert to remind us the scariest D&D monsters are in our minds. Tom is writing for us because the Kickstarter for the Deck of Holding is live, and you use that to pick monsters at random or with design to scare your players. Tom makes his point by looking back at historical description. He notes this one. The beast is immense in size, dark of hide and rough as stone. Its head is vast, its eyes small, and its ears broad and pendulous like a drake's wing. From its face extends a long serpent-like limb, and long teeth that shine like horns of bone, and its cries blare like a trumpet of brass. Its legs are pillars, and when it walks, the flesh upon them trembles like a ball of water while the earth shakes beneath its tread. That, by the way, is a one-time description of an elephant, and you can see how the principle of the unknown making monsters might apply to fantasy games like D&D, wherein the so-called monsters are well known and documented. A truly strange monster, you would hope, is the Mystery Flesh Pit, and that's the name of a cyber system game perfect for Halloween, one which is also a biting commentary on capitalism and tourism. After all, when a giant flesh pit is found in America, then why not turn it into a national park? And by biting commentary, I do mean that some of the PCs might lose an arm if they're not careful. That game had me looking for records of other daft things PCs have done, and that led me to a 7-year-old Quora thread on which some people documented their folly. I've curated highlights to a Geek Native post called I'll Toss My Torch, but my personal favourite is the second story, in which a group of would-be heroes were struggling to use a teleporter to solve a problem. People would teleport out, but not return. Spoiler. It wasn't a teleporter, it was a sphere of annihilation. Now, I'm not drawing a connection, but you can if you want, because I want to talk about Hasbro's earnings call. That's the company who owns Wizards of the Coast and therefore D&D. The boss, Chris Cox, has announced that Wizards of the Coast's attempts to use computer game engine to create a virtual tabletop have failed. They will be shutting Sigil down. Sigil is another digital failure from Wizards of the Coast. Yes, there's been Baldur's Gate, but that was built by a third party, and there have been lots of Magic the Gathering computer games, but D&D has yet to crack the digital world from the desk of the Wizards of the Coast. So, What are Wizards of the Coast going to do about it? They're going all in on digital. We know that the Maps VTT will continue, and that some games are coming, but that's about it. I want tabletop RPGs to thrive in the next decade, and it will help if Wizards of the Coast find some digital magic to make it happen. It's just hard to see any evidence today that they're on track to do that. And a big challenge they face is that gamers are, well, we're change adverse. Many of us are. I know I let the acronym TTRPG annoy me for too long. We might have been the original RPG, but I think we've lost the phrase RPG to computer game companies. I'll just toughen up and move on. In other areas, I'm much better with change. I blogged about Honor's robot phone this week, and I think this could be a real change. Honor is a Chinese company, and their robot phone has a camera on the end of an articulated periscope, and it means your smartphone can sit in your pocket while the robot camera peeks up and scans your surroundings. Or you can put your smartphone down on the table and the camera will rise up like a webcam to watch you. I really think this route might be one that takes robots and puts them into our homes. Sorry, iRobot, but I think you're lagging. I think pocket robots could start out by doing specific tasks, such as this cute Wall-E-like style eye, and then broaden out into multi-purpose uses. Further concepts might include a smart glove that mechanically stabilizes hand tremors, an anthropomorphic shoulder-mounted assistant that subtly directs your attention, a belt that provides haptic navigational cues, or an active brooch that monitors air quality and visually alerts you to pollutants. Alternatively, if all this sounds like technology and monsters are getting too scary, and if you just want it to protect you, then Bronwyn's review of the DataSure Pro Plus C Secure might reassure you. This is a USB stick that's also a digital safe. It has a number pad on the front and a robust case. Any attempt to mess with the case will result in the data on the stick being deleted. It would take you 400 million years to crack the code if you had to type in each possible combination. The problem though is if you get the password wrong 10 times, the stick also deletes everything stored on it. I've asked Bronwyn to store Geek Native's secret records on the stick, but it might be just her works in progress art portfolio that is there for now until she's ready to show the world. I was pleased to see this week that the tabletop retailer Wayland Games was working with the British Library on an exhibition all about hiding and revealing information. The exhibition is called Secret Maps. Secret Maps is all about how maps have been used, despite their name, to control and conceal information. Another technology and control development that Geek Native blogged this week was that the Organic Literature Timestamp has launched. A British startup has devised a process and a program by which books can have a stamp on their cover to prove that the author was human and not AI. Let's see if it takes off. You can find out more at booksbypeople.org or by following the link in the show notes. If all this is making you worry that we're heading into a grimdark future, then, well, perhaps the best I can do is say that Murtroid have taken the 40k world and turned it into a snuggly blanket. To be precise, a stylized map of the Eye of Terror, the Segmentum, and the realm of Ultramore, and other 40k galactic land maps have been mapped and turned into a blanket. And this is perfect if you want to crawl up and read some Black Library. I predict it will be a hot-selling Christmas gift. I predict the same for the Lord of the Rings version of Double. I predict this because Double is a great game, the One Ring of Cards is a fantastic twist, and the production quality of the travel tin these circular cards come in is simply fantastic. The full review is up on the blog, as are the details of 4 bundles. The first 3 are on the Bundle of Holding, and I'll start with the Edward Gorey inspired Ghastly Affair. If you want a game that's 2 parts gothic horror and 1 part romance, then start here. There's also Nightmares Underneath, which is an old school stylized horror fantasy about the realm of nightmares trying to breach worlds. There's also the dark transhuman vision of the future with the deal on the 2nd edition of Eclipse Phase. I want to outro on Sudden Divorce Bundle on DriveThruRPG though. That will get you nearly $200 worth of downloads for only $10. Now, I don't know why the publisher is going through a sudden divorce, and I'm sure it's traumatic, but I do know that their name is Wayward Rogues Publishing, and that at least seems fitting. On that note, keep safe and see you next week.